guys, Olivia here, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. Today is Friday, November 15th. It's about 11:30 here in my neck of the woods. It has been a little bit less than 2 weeks since my last update, so I hope you have all been well and that you've been stitching and creating all of the things. Before I go any further into my video, I am just going to squeeze in a tiny life update because I have been forgetting to mention this for the last handful of videos. And my brother brought it to my attention when he called me this past week. And so I wrote it down so I did not forget to mention it again. But that is that my brother Brad and my sister-in-law Rachel are going to have another baby. So I will be an auntie again. We are all very, very excited. It's going to be a little girl. And so when my brother told me that they're having a hard time picking out a name, I was like, well, what about baby Olivia? Now he didn't come right out and say no way. It was a, yeah, maybe. So that's better than a no. A no is like a final no way, and I got a maybe. So maybe. Anyway, but we were all very, very excited, and we can't wait to meet the new little gal. Of course, we are hoping for a healthy and happy baby. And I'm not going to be mad if they don't name it Olivia. They could name it any name, and I will still be just as much in love with her as I am with my other nieces and nephews. So I'm just very excited. And sorry, Brad, I forgot. Not intentionally forgot, because like I said, I remember every other hour out of the day, just not the hour in which I do my video, because you know, it's just one of those things. So anyway, we're very excited, and we can't wait to meet her, baby Olivia. And we're very excited. So congratulations to them all. This is kiddo number 3 for them. And after the announcement was made to the family, my little nephew Elijah came up to me, and he like pokes me in the stomach, and he goes, "When are you gonna put a baby in there?" To which I laughed hysterically and said, "Nope." I said another thing, but I'm not gonna it wasn't bad or anything like that, but I was like, you know, no, that ship sailed a long time ago. Anyway, so, but we are all very excited for them, and congratulations, and we can't wait. So anyway, I hope nobody minded that I just squeaked that little life update in there. I occasionally will get like an email or a message saying that I'm here for the stitching, not for your life. To which my daughter Allison told me that when you get those comments, you know you're a YouTuber. So I guess I'm a YouTuber. Anyway, so yeah, hope you don't mind the little life update. In my last video, I forgot to talk about the Anniversaries of the Heart stitch along that I will be co-hosting with Deborah, who is Canopied Stitches on Instagram. It starts January 1st of 2020. So I do get a lot of questions about the charts themselves. You only need to buy 12. There are only 12 in the series, and 2 of the charts have bonus patterns. So when you Google Anniversaries of the Heart and you see it all stitched on one piece and you count them, there are 14. And that is because 2 are bonus charts, which are inside 2 of the charts. So if you have all 12 of the charts, you're good to go. You don't need to buy any more charts for this series, unless you choose to, you know, add something else into it. I am stitching mine on all one piece, and Deborah is going to stitch hers individually, and I think she told me that there were a couple of them that she was going to stitch together. She doesn't know which ones she's starting with first. She's just going to kind of see how she feels on January 1st and go from there. I will be starting with number 1 and going 1 through 12. I also am going to try to finish mine by December of 2020. However, the SAL is unending, and so you can start it when you want and finish it whenever you would like as well. All we ask is that you tag us, you let us know that you're stitching along so that we can support you, because it is a big piece, and sometimes when you feel like you are in a stitch along, you can feel like you're stitching alone, and we don't want you to feel that way. We want you to know that we will support you 5 years down the road. just, tag us and let us know you're doing it. The hashtag that we are using is BB Anniversaries 2020. And we would love for you to join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I know there are a lot of sales kicking off on January 1st. And so for that reason, I mean, honestly, you could start this in July and we would be totally happy. So I thought really briefly, I will show you the charts that are in the series because I do get a lot of questions about that. So the first one, and the one that I will be starting with, is Snow Garden. Second one is Valentine Rose. A Wish for You is number 3. Pink Hill Manor is number 4. Number 5 is Farmhouse. Number 6 is Happy Birthday. Number 7 is, and I'm trying to read it backwards and I cannot see it, Swan Lake. Which one is that? Number 8, sorry, is Clara Ellen. Moonlight Visitor is number 9. Number 10 is Pumpkin Farm. Number 11 is Evergreen Lane. And number 12 is Elizabeth Jane. And so this one is one of the ones that has a bonus in it. And I think, what was the other one? The other one was number 7. Swan Lake has the other bonus pattern in it. And this is number 12's bonus pattern. So as long as you have all 12, you have everything that you need to get started stitching. The patterns are widely available now because they have re-released them. And so all you have to do is just kind of put in Anniversaries of the Heart and the one you're looking for, and you should be able to find it in a bunch of different places. At the time that I started collecting them, they weren't so readily available, and so I did purchase some from 123 Stitch, Sassy Jacks, Acorns and Threads, and Jen's Stitching Niche. But I do know that you could, like if you want to buy them all together, you could contact your local needlework shop, see if they have them, and if not, see if they can order them for you. I did go through and write down all of the needed fancy floss, and it is quite an impressive list. I had some in my stash, but there's a lot that I did not. So I will be using some fancy floss, some DMC, and some that I'm just gonna look in my fancy floss stash and see which one matches the color that I need and go from there. But so far, this is what I have out of my stash that I will be using. And I will be stitching it on a piece of 35 count sand linen, and I think this is Edinburgh, if I'm saying that right. So I'm very excited to begin, and I hope you guys will join us. The more the merrier, but please, if you do decide that you want to join us, on January 1st, snap a picture, tag both Deborah and myself with the hashtag BB Anniversaries 2020, and so we can see and cheer you on. Again, the more the merrier, and we would love to have you join us. So we can't wait. All right, guys, so let's talk about some progress. Now, before I go any further, I did finish Skeleton Crew by the Cricut Collection, and I took it to Michael's to be framed, and they called me, I think it was Sunday. I dropped it off on Saturday, and they called me Sunday morning to tell me it was done. And I thought, that's really weird for it to be done that quickly, because I dropped it off late morning on Saturday, and the gal said she wouldn't be able to get to it until Monday. But what I had done was I had a 60% off coupon from Joann's, and so Michael's takes competitor coupons, and so I took my 60% off, and then Michael's had a 20% off your purchase. And so I went to Michael's and I found the perfect frame for Skeleton Crew, and I decided to just have them fully finish it for me since Skeleton Crew is such a big piece. So the guy called me and he told me that my Skeleton Crew was done on Sunday morning, and so on Tuesday I went and picked it up, and it was crooked. Like, one side of it was fine, but the center mast was like this, and the bow of the ship was like this. So I took it back, and I told them that you know, it needed to be fixed, and the lady that I talked to could clearly see that it was very crooked. And so they called me last night, late last night, and told me that it was finished and that they had fixed it. And so I will pick it up tomorrow. There was no way to go and get it before I did my video, so I will show it in my next video. It looks amazing in the frame. The frame is perfect for it. And so I can't wait to show you. So, I did have some new starts one new start this past week, but I kind of put everything in order. So the new start, so when Skeleton Crew is finished, I'm making a whole lot of sense today, really. When I finished Skeleton Crew, I started Santa Sampler by Country Cottage Needleworks. At least I hope that's what it's called. Yes, it is, Santa Sampler. And so here's my progress. So I left it in the Q-snap. I didn't get a ton of progress. I think I've only worked on this 3 days. I'm doing it with all DMC, and I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count Vintage Country Mocha that was left over. It was the perfect size for it. And so I think it really works. It helps that white pop out a little bit. Which always, you know, when you're doing a Christmas design, there's a lot of white, and so I try to make sure that the background helps that white pop out, and so I think that the Vintage Country Mocha was a great choice. This is the one where when I finish it, I have a Santa that I'm going to repurpose, and the Santa is not very tall, but this will fit. There's he sits on a platform, and so this is gonna sit on the platform, and there's like a Christmas tree that says welcome, and I'm gonna try to pry the Christmas tree off and slide this in its place, and then kind of have the Christmas tree in a different position. I haven't quite figured out how I'm gonna do it. I noticed the other day that he's in a little bit more disrepair than I originally thought, so he's gonna need a little TLC between now and when I hopefully get this finished in time for Christmas. So. And then this is my morning stitch. So this is Words of Enlightenment by The Tempting Tangles. It is a stitch along. And I wasn't sure how chopped wood worked into Words of Enlightenment, but the Deborah, who designs these patterns, she said, and here's the meaning, because I wrote it down, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. And it's a Zen quote, and so that's what chop wood represents in Words of Enlightenment. So I did not know that, and I'm glad that she put that in the group so that we could all, because everyone was saying, I don't really understand, you know, what chopped wood has with Words of Enlightenment. And then I think it's carry wood is underneath it, and so that's what it means. I'm stitching that on a piece of 32 count fairy dust with the DMC conversion. The stitch along is ongoing until the end of February. I think it wraps up. There are 16 parts. Number 10 just released today, and I just finished number 7, and I've moved on to number 8. So I'm hoping to catch up, but I only work on it in the morning for about a half an hour, and I don't do it every day. Usually on the weekends I don't, but Monday through Friday I'll just stitch on it for half an hour while I watch a little bit of Flosstube before I start my day. If you are interested in joining the SAL, it is $5 and you get all 16 parts. And she releases them in the Facebook group, and the only way you can be in the Facebook group is if you join the Stitch Along. So if you're interested, there's still plenty of time to join and to get caught up, because when she does release them, it's only in a little, I mean, they're not very big. So it's really easy if you, you know, if you sit down and you're really dedicated, you could bust it out in no time. I think when I started number 7, I've started it on Monday, and I finished it this morning. Had to pause the video there because I had to choke. I don't get what it is halfway through the video. I just start coughing. I get a little tickle and I can't get rid of it. and I try to fight it as much as I can, and then you just have to like hit pause and go hack. Anyway, so continuing on with my stitch rotation, I've been working on Thanksgiving Comes Again by the Prairie Schooler. I am loving stitching on this. I love Prairie Schoolers. They're my absolute favorite to work on. Again, I just left it in the Q-snap. Let me adjust my needle minder. I am stitching this on a piece of 30 count linen that I tea coffee dyed a little while back. I think I bought the linen from Hobby Lobby, and I think it's an even weave. It started out as a 32 count, but by the time I was done cooking it, it has shrunk to a 30 count. I'm doing it with all the called for DMC. And I did have a couple questions when I posted this last week, and then I think it might have just been, I don't know if it was at the beginning of this week or if it was last week when I posted a picture of it. But the original chart, and I don't know if you can see it very good, it has like a bowl of fruit. And I decided that I wanted to swap mine out for a pumpkin. And so the pumpkin is part of the chart. It's in the little, the 4-part sampler, I guess. I'm not sure what this is called, but it's part of that. So if you have the chart, you have the pumpkin. And all of the Prairie Schoolers, when they, charted them where it comes long and then it's got this other little one with it, you can interchange them. So if you don't like the basket of fruit, you can change it for any one of these. There's a cute squirrel, there's some Indian corn, and a turkey. Originally I was going to go with the turkey, but there is already a turkey right there. So I decided to go with the pumpkin because I love pumpkins. As Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42, found out when she got a pumpkin ornament at Fall Fling. And Audrey, I'm absolutely loving my ornament so much. And every time I see it hanging on my tree, I chuckle and think of you. Anyway, so I am stitching it with all of the called for DMC. And I also get a lot of questions about the needle minder. Yes, it is Mr. Bean's face. I am a huge fan of Mr. Bean, and I got this needle minder from Mad for Minders on Etsy. And I love it, and I cannot wait. I'm so hoping to have this done by Thanksgiving. It's going along pretty quickly, but that is because of the wording, and I think there's another little line of wording, and then the house and the barn start. And so I know it's going to be a little time consuming. At this point, I'm just hoping for a Thanksgiving finish. I don't think that I will be able to fully finish it until next year, but if I can just have one thing finished for Thanksgiving, I will be very happy. And then my weekend stitch, which is what I usually reserve for my whips, has been Sally Spencer. I just recently picked this back up again. It had kind of sat on a little bit of a hiatus while I tried to finish Skeleton Crew, but I did pick it up and I have worked on it for 2 weekends now. And here is my progress. Just go like this. I'm stitching it on a piece of 32 count Vintage Country Mocha Belfast with all of the called for Gentle Art Sampler threads. Another thing that happens anytime I post this is it's always pointed out to me that there is no Q. And I did not forget the Q. Sally Spencer is not charted to have a Q in the alphabet. And that is because she is a reproduction sampler. And I don't know if it was charted from an original sampler or if it's something that Birds of a Feather just designed on their own and decided to leave the Q off. But in our alphabet, we did not have a Q until, and I could be wrong, but it was in the 1800s when they decided to add the Q into our alphabet. And it was because other cultures were starting to come together and like sharing their alphabet, and that's how we decided to add a Q into ours. Prior to that, anytime you wanted to make the Q sound, it was spelled CW or KW. And I don't know who decided. It's always interesting. I always wonder, is there somebody who was in charge of the alphabet at the time and made the decision, or was it just kind of a collective, we're going to add the Q to our alphabet? I'm always very curious about that because, you know, you never hear about, you know, it's not like there was like a group of people that says we're the boss of the alphabet and we've decided to add the Q. So I'm always curious. And when you look it up, you can't ever find anything that tells you like, oh, this group of scholars decided we're going to have the Q in our alphabet. So I don't know who decided it, but I do know that they decided at some point in the 1800s to add it to our alphabet. And so that is why the Q is not in this alphabet, because it's a reproduction sampler. Sometimes in reproduction samplers, depending on where they come from, there are extra letters, or there are more than just the Q missing. So I decided to stay with the original sampler. I wasn't going to try to rechart it, and because that would have thrown the whole thing off. I just decided to leave it off, but I do get a lot of people that point out that it is missing. And I know, and I even try to put in there that yes, I know the Q is missing, and I still almost always get a couple of people that is like, oh my gosh, you forgot the Q. I didn't. There's no Q in Sally Spencer. So these are the called for threads that I'm using, minus this one. I don't know why it is still on there. I originally thought I could swap out the buttermilk for Ohio lemon pie, but it was just the wrong color combination. And of course I have my, I don't know what these are called, floss fobs that I got from Gazelle's Needlework. And I love it. It's fantastic, and it's a beautiful pumpkin, and it's my favorite. So that is all of the progress that I have had for the past 2 weeks. My plans are to continue working on all of these until they are done. I will continue to work on Sally Spencer. My goal is to have her done by the end of this year. And when she's finished, I've already decided that I will pull Queen of Freedom from her, where she's hanging out in my Mocking Box of Whips. I will pull her from that and begin working on her, because I would like to get her finished in 2020. So that brings us to the giveaway portion of the video. In my last video, I gave away Hello Winter by Plum Street Samplers and all of the Glitter Villages by Country Cottage Needleworks, and I apologize for the glare. Now that the tree has lost the majority of its leaves, it's very bright in here. And thank you to everybody who entered the giveaway, and happy birthday to all the November babies, or November people, not babies. Happy birthday to all the November birthdays. So the winner of Glitter Village is Lisa Rowan, so congratulations, Lisa. And the winner of Hello Winter is Patricia Clark. So if you ladies can email me with your address at email me your address to pumpkinhollowquilting@gmail.com, I will get these in the mail to you next week. Thank you so much for playing. I appreciate it. However, in this video, I also have a giveaway, and they are also charts. So the first giveaway, and this will be number 1, is Pumpkin Farm by Blackbird Designs. And this was donated by Rita. So thank you so much, Rita. And then number 2 is 4 of the Little House Needleworks Early Americans. So the winner will get number 6, Paul Revere, number 7, Abigail Adams, and number 8, Patrick Henry, and number 9, Molly Pitcher. So if you are interested in winning either one of these, the question you need to answer is, what are you thankful for? Now that Thanksgiving is like 2 weeks away, I thought that was a very appropriate question. I, of course, am thankful for my family. And I'm also thankful for all of you, my subscribers, who come back every 2 weeks to see what I am up to. You support me across all the social media platforms, and I really appreciate it. I love that you guys take the time to send me messages and birthday messages. I really appreciate that so much. It just warmed my heart, and I'm so thankful for all of you guys. So in the comments down below, I want you to tell me what you are thankful for this year. I will announce the winners in my next video, which will be on Black Friday. Actually, technically, it will be the Saturday after Black Friday, but I will record my video on Black Friday. Also, this is the last time you will see the autumn tree. When you see this tree again, it will be decorated for Christmas, and it will be my vintage tree. My next video will probably be done out in my dungeon because the house will be ripped apart in preparation for all of the Christmas that will be happening. The rules of the giveaway are, of course, you must be a subscriber. Don't say giveaway down below. Like the video and just answer the question. Well, guys, I guess that brings me to the end of the video. Thank you so much for stopping by today. If I have forgotten anything, I will make sure to mention it in my next video. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. We are hosting Thanksgiving here this year. It's the first time in a while that I've hosted Thanksgiving, so I have to remember how to do it. My husband was saying, well, because I forget where we were at, he was saying that he must be getting old because all he could think of is all the work that has to go into, you know, prepping the turkey and basting the turkey and all the mess from the turkey. And he was kind of saying that he must be getting old because he wasn't looking forward to it. But it's always fun. I like to celebrate the holidays. My brother and his family, my brother Matthew and his family will be over here, so I will get to spend it with my 3 nephews. And then my grandma's gonna come, and I think my dad's gonna come too. So it should be a good time. And then, yeah, and then the next day, the whole house comes down, all the Thanksgiving goes away, and all the Christmas goes up. It takes me about 2 days to put everything up. Because, you know, I have a ridiculous amount of Christmas trees I have to decorate. And I just keep collecting Christmas trees, so it just adds more and more work for me to decorate them. But I love them when they're done. And so, of course, I will do a home tour in December. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. I hope I didn't forget anything. I tried to stay pretty on point with my notes. So yeah, I guess I will see you guys in 2 weeks. And I hope you get lots of stitching done. And if you ever want to see what I am up to, you can always follow me on Instagram. My name there is Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. I have a Facebook page, Pumpkin Hollow Quilting. You are welcome to follow me there as well. I have been adding project bags into my shop, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts on Etsy. So if you're interested in a project bag, pop over and look and see what I have in stock. Sometimes I sell out, but if you just kind of keep an eye on the shop, they usually go in later in the evening. And so, yeah, just pop over and take a look-see if you are interested in project bags. And I will put all the links down below. Well, the husband has come home, and I had recorded the end of my video only to realize that I never hit record. And so I said goodbye and all the things, and then I went to go shut it off, and I realized that I never was actually recording. Well, I also realized when I was unpacking the groceries that I forgot to show the autumn Thanksgiving quilts. So I will save that and do that in my next video, which will come out, well, I will do it the day after Thanksgiving. So I suppose that's good because all of the table runners and everything will be down, and I'll be able to show those too. So I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving, and I will see you in 2 weeks. And happy stitching. Bye-bye.